welcome back to 2 More Takes, everybody. Or should I say 3 More Takes this time, because it's a very special edition of 2 More Takes. My name is Jack.
My name's Joe. And
my name's Jay. Woo.
Yeah.
We're supposed to introduce you.
We've got slightly premature, but that's to be expected.
We can't do it again, no. We'll do it live!
But yeah.
This is Jay. He's our buddy, our pal, and he's come here today to talk to us about... Sorry, I sound like I'm introducing like you're like...
a TED Talk speaker.
You're like a special talker or something for like the primary school. Hello, children. Jay's come here to tell you all about the film Good Burger.
Mm-hmm.
That's the film we're doing today, Good Burger, from 1997.
Uh-huh. And wasn't this your idea, Jack? This was your suggestion? This film?
Well, I accept partial blame, yes.
And then Jay agreed to it, and then I was thrown into the mix of it?
I'll tell you, I want to give some context here for this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when we were initially contacting each other, me and Jay, I don't remember which one of us brought up him coming on the podcast. All I remember is that I definitely asked if he wanted to come on, and Jay said, sure, I'll come on and do something. What should we do? And I said, I don't know, have you got like a film you want to talk about? And the suggestion he gave, I deemed was not appropriate for the podcast, and that was, of course, Tall Girl.
I love that film.
Which, of course, is our niche, like, inside joke, basically.
It's a quality film.
I mean, I think these two are definitely, like, Tall Girl and Good Burger definitely are going ahead together, I think, in competition for which one's slightly above the other.
Yeah, I can't pick between which one is worse, to be honest.
Good Burger was not a good film.
Well, I suppose we should get into it right now. I guess initial thoughts. How did we feel about Good Burger, everyone?
I did enjoy it.
Yeah, I enjoyed bits of it as well. Like it wasn't.
I thoroughly enjoyed this movie.
Yeah.
No, it's like I think the thing is that we got to frame our thoughts in the context that this is like this is weird.
Yeah.
And like it was thoroughly entertaining, I think, as a group. I have watched this alone, and it was a very different viewing experience. I still enjoyed myself, but it was like it was the definition of like carefree, brain switch off, all of that stuff that people talk about when it's like I just like to switch my brain off. It's like I was probably like knee deep in my dissertation at the time, and I just needed like a break or something.
And you decided
I heard
to
about
watch
this film, and I heard about this film Good Burger that had been added to Netflix, and I ordered some takeout. Incidentally, I did not have any burgers with this. I had pizza.
Wow.
But I did, and then this is a weird thing: is that I think I watched a pizza movie of some sort. I think I watched some sort of pizza movie at some point, and I had burgers. It was a very weird contradiction, but so I stumbled across it. I was quite aware of this one. There's other YouTubers who have done about it and stuff like that. But it was like this weird like anomaly of like, why does this movie exist? What is it trying to do? Is it legitimately funny? Is it legitimately funny in a few places? Is it unironically funny in a few places? Is it just not funny in a few places? It's like this film is like it could never have come out in any other time than when it came out. Like this is a 90s film. In that it's kind of ostracized from. I think you said it at the end of the viewing, Jay. Like, who is this for?
Exactly. I don't understand the target audience. Like, I found myself laughing, but not because it was funny. I found myself laughing because it was old, outdated. Like,
we were laughing at it and not with it.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think a few times we were laughing with it, but I think we were mostly we were laughing at it, and we were sort of joking and jiving with each other and making like jokes about it.
Again,
I think that's the optimum experience for watching.
It's one of those watch it with a group of friends as a laugh, not I want to watch a serious or actual amusing film.
I genuinely thought it was a film made for kids, but as soon as that bloody woman came along, who tried to have sex with the protagonist, I don't remember his name.
Yep.
Well, to be fair, she doesn't explicitly say, "Hello, Ed. I would like to have sex."
No, but
with
she does
you."
say,
It's
"I will do
implied.
literally anything you want." So
Yeah.
it does.
Yeah, and it's like, "Can I have your
And
sauce, Ed?"
yeah,
And it's like,
also-
it's suggestive.
Yeah.
It's suggestive, but it's like, yeah.
But there's also the fact of like that. I mean, is she even? It's difficult to tell ages as well, when it's like she.
Oh, she's definitely in her like mid to late 20s, I think.
Well, yeah, and like, what,
Maybe her early to mid 20s.
but like, what age is our
best,
main
but-
character supposed to be? Like, is he a teenager? Is he like?
Well, this is like something that wasn't just this film or this era. This is like from as far
Wait,
back
it's
as
not-
like the 70s or 80s. It's just like, let's get these old men and old
No,
women
no,
to
it's
play
not-
these kids.
It's not the only film with that issue, but it's again,
Yeah.
it's very questionable when you've got, for all we know, it could be a 40-year-old woman with a 12-year-old boy, probably exaggerating a little bit, but you know.
Yeah, what the fuck is going on? Can you judge
just
ages,
saying.
Joe?
No, I'm really bad at it, but I'm just saying. Even
Grandma
I
here
noticed
wants to have sex with the baby, apparently.
from what they were portraying, it did seem like, you know, maybe a
It seemed like there was a
20-year-old
bit of a...
with like maybe a
yeah.
30-year-old possibly. Is...
Oh, I think that Ed is in his 30s. He's
No.
he's been working at
No.
Burger for his...
I don't
No, he's
think
not, but
he's
it's-
meant to be.
Ed's probably in
He's
his
409.
early 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I think he's got to be. I think he's a little bit older than Dex. Dex actually, I think the guy who plays Dex
He's
kind of
like
acts
16.
his age.
Yeah.
Yeah, he acts like he's 16, or like 17 or whatever. Is the edge of 18.
Well, yeah, he hasn't got his
but-
license yet, so there was that whole.
But Ed obviously acts like an asexual toddler, so it's kind of hard to pinpoint his age. But I think he's a little bit older because he lives on his own, or
Does he?
at least, very least, well, we never see his family. I think they just don't exist. I mean, Ed's an anomaly in this film. He doesn't like nothing about him makes sense, and that's obviously the point. But it is like he's bewildering in both I guess in both like a horrendous and also like amazing way. There was a lot of moments when I was watching this, both initially and with you guys, where obviously the second time around I had just forgotten some things, and I was sat there last night watching it with you guys, and sometimes my mouth was just like completely ajaw, like trying to figure out what the fuck is going on.
Well,
But yeah.
like even in terms of, you know, I'd never seen it before, and I just thinking about it, the story was just a little bit predictable. It's very stereotypical.
I suppose I proposition that Jay in 30 seconds or less now surmises the plot.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jay.
So there's a guy who obviously has something wrong with him. He has some sort of like brain deficiency, and he basically works at a burger place. He loves it. A kid is on summer vacation. He decides to drive his mum's car, crashes into his teacher. The teacher's like, "Oh, you owe me money," and then he's like, "Yeah, I'll go find a job then." But he's like, "Oh, I've got to find a job," in that kind of voice because he doesn't actually want to do it. And then he goes and finds a job, and then he goes into all these shenanigans, and then some place fires him, and he ends up having to
Your 30
work.
seconds are up,
Oh,
Jay. Sorry. I mean, yeah, it's kind of like that little girl. Now, this is not you describing it, Jay. I'm just like, when you have to give a description of this film's plot, it's kind of like, you guys ever seen that video of the little girl describing Star Wars?
No.
It's like she just says, and then this thing happened, and then this thing happened, and then it's all like this weird.
It was a lot
stuff
of
that doesn't
things
seem like it's in
happening.
the same movie, but it's all smushed together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, but you were saying how it's predictable, Joe. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, as soon as things were coming up, I was like, that's going to be this is going to be that, he's going to be that, and it's like, they just kind of pieced together, your classic kids film, but as I think one of you compared it to Scooby-Doo, but
That was me.
it's like, yeah.
Jay had the best comparisons because he also compared it to SpongeBob, I think, at one point, which I think went under the radar because we were like, something was going on and me and Joe missed
Didn't
it.
we, there's the whole, the burger car, didn't you?
Yeah, the burger car, and there was like
Well,
I genuinely think
This is
SpongeBob
the
might have got
question.
the inspiration from there.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I'm guessing SpongeBob must have come out just after this.
But it was the movie which came out like years into
Hmm.
SpongeBob going out.
But even just the plot, it's like, okay, one burger restaurant, the burger restaurant that our protagonists inhabit, has a secret formula that makes their burgers superior. Our competition wants to get the secret formula from the other burger place because they're in competition.
And they would have gotten away with it.
Which is right across the road. Holy shit, we found the original.
Yes, it's the exact same thing.
Well, that's just...
Oh my god.
I laid like falling asleep last night thinking about this exact thing.
And the worker is literally incompetent.
Oh my god, he's SpongeBob. Yes, yeah. And Dex is I guess
he's not Patrick,
and he's not very Squidwardy, but he looks like Patrick, but kind of has Squidward's attitude in a cynical way. Yeah. I guess we should talk about characters then, because the plot is. I mean, Jay, you did the best job you could have done of that. It's just like
yeah.
I didn't even get to finish.
What do you talk about?
No, I felt you.
That's the point. You did finish. You finished.
You didn't let the man, get his.
I said 30 seconds. He had plenty of time. I'm sorry, we're renowned on here for like sometimes dragging on with our plot description, so we've been trying to gradually get them smaller and smaller, Jay.
30 seconds.
So you've just been the victim of my bullying. Basically.
Let me try again. I'll try and do the whole thing in 30 seconds.
You know what? How about this? You can do the second half, but you'll have the 30 seconds.
Okay, where did I get to?
He gets
Stuff
fired
happens.
from Mondo Burger.
He gets fired from Mondo Burger, and then he's like, oh, I'm gonna have to find a job at a shittier place, and then he ends up at Good Burger, and then he becomes he tries to trick Ed because Ed has this like really cool secret formula that makes his burgers taste really good, and then he tries to take all his money, but then somewhere along the lines they become best friends, and then he feels really bad about taking his money, and then he ends up liking this girl, and then they end up going on a date, and then there's another girl who tries to steal the Krabby Patty secret formula, and then 30
seconds are up, Jet.
It's really hard. It's really hard.
It is. Yeah. I'm bullying you right now, is what I'm doing, because this is your first time on. I'm glassing you, is all. I'm just trying to haze you so that you can be ready for this.
I mean, we're just
the next time when we see Good Burger 2 that totally doesn't exist, but we'll pretend it does.
Should make a remake like Space Jam,
or make it worse.
Yeah.
Who do we recast Ed as?
Lola Bunny.
I don't. You just can't recast this one. The cast's too good.
I agree.
No, I mean, you mentioned the characters. I'm just going to say right now that Ed's character is very questionable, and I feel like, as we said, many people might have even had issues with it back in the 90s, but especially today. Yeah, it wouldn't fly. It's
See, I would say that I don't think that it goes on I don't think it even approaches like the level of like neurotypical actors playing like disabled roles or like autistic roles. I think he's too cartoony for us to apply like realistic sort of boundaries to it. I think in fact, Joe, you say that it wouldn't be allowed, but I mean, have you ever seen a Melissa McCarthy film?
Well, not really, actually. But
they allow it.
No,
it's just a very different.
It maybe, but it's like it's just there's something about it which is like, okay, he's not fully there. He's meant to be this dumb character that's still the characters are going to grow to love him because he's innocent and he's going to solve everything, and it's like, but he's also the most annoying thing in the film.
I don't know about that. I think he is. He definitely has. He has the most annoying moment. I do not think he's the most annoying thing in the film.
Oh, what would you say?
I think the most annoying thing in the film are basically just the everything else. It's like everything else is just so mediocre and it shrivels around him. Like our other lead. I mean, he acts like. I mean, obviously he's the more normal one out of the two of them, but he still acts like a whiny little like.
True.
Buffoon. He's like squeaking about as much as Marlon Wayans does in the Dungeons and Dragons movie, where Marlon Wayans seems to be playing some sort of racial stereotype from like the Gone with the Wind era. Like that's the equivalent of like the level of whining and like the ad libs from him are so bad as well. It's like with Ed, you know that there was a conversation where this joke was attempted to be written, and sometimes you'll get, ever been to Australia? No, me neither. And then you're like, oh, this is not making me laugh. That was a terrible joke. I just feel like upset now. And then other times, he'll be like, he'll be doing some weird random shit, and you're like, I'm astonished.
Just saying, I think there's definitely some stuff in it that's actually like, okay, this is actually amusing. There's some laughs to be had in there. But I also don't entirely agree with you. Where I kind of preferred the other main character over Ed, because, as I said, I found Ed the most annoying thing.
Well, Dexter.
Yeah, Dexter. I still didn't like him, but I did enjoy his character. I think I did enjoy his character more than Ed's.
I think I preferred Ed's character more, but that's just because mentally I am a child.
Yeah.
Now, Jay, our caveman brains are aligning here. This is appropriate.
I thought I'd be outnumbered on this one.
Yeah, I think the issue, Joe, is that we've once again run into the issue that...
Oh, he is. But I also I found the whoever the actor is, I found his performance enjoyable for like half of it, whereas I found Ed's performance enjoyable for about 10 seconds.
Well, the guy who played Dex, he's got like charisma, but I just don't think I think that was a case of like, again, it's like in those comedy films that we get nowadays, like the Ghostbusters reboot, where it's just like, okay, instead of writing a script for this character, we just let them ad-lib. We just let the funny person be funny and give them no direction, and then you get scenes where it's just like, what do we do? I guess we'll get a burger, we'll take some fishing wire to it, and then we'll yank it out of his hands, and that'll be the funniest thing that happens to him.
It'll sound pretty funny.
But yeah, sorry. And as I was trying to say, I think Joe, we've run into the issue again though, is that like it's like when we were doing Mad Max Fury Road. It's like I think we just have very different sensibilities in that. I think you like the more reserved stuff.
Yeah.
I like the weird shit.
No, I know. That's the thing. It's Ed is really. That's the thing. I'm like he's
out there. Yeah.
He's questionably too extreme. Like. That's the only problem.
I completely agree with you. It's like I think there are just enough miscalculations with that character and the presentation of it. Where it's just like that's part of it is not just me like, oh, I'm enjoying this character or whatever, or like I'm laughing at jokes or something. It's just like, as I said, like sometimes my hand is just over my mouth in amazement and astonishment of just like and like horror of like what the like it's like I think that I've seen characters like Ed in other films, but I don't think I've seen a character that is really like Ed in any movie.
Yeah, he was very unique, and there's something about him, like, I don't know, even though it was awful, and like you shouldn't play that kind of character, there was some charm about it, and I really liked it.
I agree.
I mean, that's good, because that's kind of what they're trying to go for, is the fact that, like, you want to like Ed. That's kind of the whole thing of, the other Dexter's character or whatever. It's like, he's got to learn to, be friends with the guy he's trying to cheat for money. But again,
I think the one thing that I can say about this film, though, if we're like, if for us, obviously not for the sake of the listeners, but for the sake of us, if we were going to rate this against Tall Girl, I think that's a point for Good Burger, in that Good Burger actually has character arcs that it attempts and pays off on. Like Dex learns to be a more selfless, sort of like, nice person who's just like more of a decent bloke. And Ed sort of, comes full circle in that he's dumb the entire movie, but in his own sort of unique way, he comes up with the smartest plan that saves everyone.
Well, yeah, because at some point he decides to use his brain.
I just think at that point, like, he's lightning hit him or something. It's fine. It's more than I can say for like Short Boy and Tall Girl in Tall Girl. It's like
I want the sequel to Tall Girl. I want Short Boy.
I've already said that I would pitch them the sequel, but apparently they've already made it, and they made it about Jodie again. So I don't know what's going on there, but. But yeah, it's like with that, it's like look at the characters and the character arcs of that film, and also just look at like the moments in that film. I think we laughed more at that film in the respect of like it was unintentional in the humor that made us laugh. Whereas this time, I think there was enough intentional humor, but there was a lot of stuff where it's like I don't know how to feel when watching this. But like Tall Girl's arc in that film is just to accept. I am a tall girl, and I am special, but also not special. I am better than all of you. That's her arc, or whatever I can remember from it. It's not as bad as Short Boy's arc. Short Boy's arc is that he carries around a milk crate, and then he stands on the milk crate.
He carries around a milk crate just in case.
Yeah,
You know,
that's creepy as well. Like that was like. There's so much in that film where it's like that. Now there's some miscalculations in what they want us to feel versus what we feel.
you know, to each their own. Some people have dreams of, you know, going out with a tall girl and they carry around a milk crate with them. Come on.
Is this you sticking up as a short boy, Joe?
I am a short boy, but I don't carry around a milk crate with me because I don't talk to humans. So
yeah, we're actually just randomly generated AI that Joe has programmed. Jay's the new version.
We already know this because you know, the soundboard broke in one of our previous podcasts, and I broke Jack as the soundboard. So it's just me here, and I've added a new soundboard, which is Jay, just to, you know, make it seem like I'm popular. But anyway,
so Jay, summarize the plot in 30 seconds.
Oh my god!
Hey,
so the guy who's hallucinating out burgers, he's really dumb, and he's like got some sort of mental deficiency. He works at a burger place. A kid has an accident, needs a job, works at the same burger place. They become friends. There's nothing outside of that. They're just friends. They both find lovers. They're oh fuck. They
wait.
They have
sorry.
evil plans of the other place, and they're like, nah, no, you. And then it all explodes, and they live happily ever after.
Yeah. Well, we don't know that. They just cut to credits afterwards. Like everyone could have become like jobless and penniless. So that once the credits cut, and they're like, "We had a report that you assaulted an old lady in the restaurant. We're gonna have to take you downtown."
No, they lived happily ever after. It's a Nickelodeon movie.
Well, we know for certain that at least with it, when it comes to a Nickelodeon film, this is right up there with all the other ones where it's like we got to slime people at some point.
he slimed me.
You just got slimed. Tag 10 of your friends so they can also get slimed.
I just sauced you, boss.
Yeah, this film's really just sticky and saucy, isn't it? You remember that bit with everyone in those tight leather outfits?
Oh my god.
Do you remember the bit where the teacher mounted Dex?
Oh yeah, the sexual assault in the street.
Yeah.
Not sure if that was intentional or not.
I said to Joe while we were watching this, I said that this might have to replace Predator as the gayest movie ever.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know,
because even the love interest plot kind of like it kind of like dies, and then it's like, oh, it's just about these bros hanging out and sort of becoming friends. Yeah. Because even like when Ed is given the psycho sort of like love interest, it's done in a very asexual way. It's like a nice little bit of affection or whatever. Whereas, I mean, it's still a psycho nutcase that they find at one point, and that happens in this film. They go to an insane asylum, and then they start a dance number in the insane asylum, and it sounds like it was randomly generated by an AI. So maybe Joe is also the architect of Good Burger.
There was some incredible sexual tension between Ed and that one girl in the insane asylum.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. That, I mean, again, there's a few more questionable things, but I actually quite enjoyed the performance of that psycho woman.
Yeah, me too.
For a brief bit.
I mean, for the brief bit, I was going to say because she kind of just turned off after.
She
a
did,
while.
yeah.
It's
Again,
like,
consistency's not.
It's like, let's all escape, and then she just stayed there.
She just turns normal, basically.
I'm insane. I'm psycho, and then just she's normal.
Hashtag white girl things.
Exactly.
Oh my god, I'm so insane. I'm like a psychopath. And I, like, Virgo's combining with Aries. And I'm just so upset that my Huel didn't arrive on time. Where's my pumpkin spice latte? It's Halloween, bitches. Yeah. I love how we've stopped talking about the film.
Oh, yeah. Well, there was
my
something
fault,
about a psycho girl, and then,
Well, we're going through the characters, and there's not that many of them, but I suppose as well we should mention the villain.
Yeah, the Nazis.
The little Nazi short round. He's like a short guy. I suppose he looks shorter because his bodyguards are quite big, but he's probably
I think
a normal-sized guy.
Yeah, they're definitely... I mean, it's like they're meant to be adults, but they also look like they could be the same age as our main characters.
It's a Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
It's a Nickelodeon.
Everyone's
film. I think
young.
I think besides the really old people or old Mr. Manager who's clearly the adult, it's
the kid.
I think it's just like
mindset of everyone's either my age, everyone's young or old. There is no in between.
Do or do not.
There is no try. But yeah, there's a bunch of different characters that the burger play. You got the enemy ones that are trying to steal that secret sauce from the young lads. Sounds perfectly normal. And then, obviously, you got the folks back at Good Burger. You got Old Man Otis or whatever his name is, and
yeah, I think that's Abe Vigoda.
Yeah, no, he's a well-known actor. I've seen him in many a thing. There's not. I think there's a couple of familiar faces, but not too many.
Yeah. Oh God, I just forgot that the because this is like how little the characters in Good Burger are utilized, but it's like at least some of them are like in scenes.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember Fizz?
Fizz?
I don't.
The drive-through guy?
Oh.
No.
Past the introduction of his character, he wasn't in the film.
Oh, the white guy.
Drive-through?
The white guy with the Ricky salesman.
Yeah, I remember him.
Fucking headset.
He had like 3 lines in the whole thing.
He wasn't in the film after he was introduced to Dex.
Maybe he was just doing drive-through.
Were we watching the same film? I don't remember who this character is.
Exactly, that's the whole point.
This is the thing. This is like a weird trip is what this is.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I kind of like this movie, not in a legitimate way. Again, this is like you remember when we did Cats and Dogs, Joe? It's like that. This is how I feel about it. But it's like unlike in that one where it's like it was so bizarre that even I was like, okay, I can't deal with this. This is like just bizarre enough that I can find like humor and entertainment value in it.
No, I mean, I'm sure if I'd watched this when I was little, and maybe it'd have, because that's the thing with Cats and Dogs. I watched that when I was a kid, and I used to enjoy that film when I was a kid. But I did not watch Good Burger. So I've jumped in as an adult, and it's like, this is one of those. This is an awful film that I'm sure if I'd watched it when I was younger, probably would love this film.
Well, that's kind of rude, Joe. This is Jay's favourite film. Obviously, he came to me with this film saying it was a treasured memory in his childhood.
What are you
right,
on
Jay?
about, you twonk?
I can imagine your face, like
It was completely deadpan.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean. It's like I can imagine you just like just looking at you with like the fuck face. Like...
No, never watched it before. Probably will never watch it again.
I think unless we can get the boys together on Discord or something like that, and they will like do another watch like in a while, like not soon.
Yeah, no, like
once I have to watch this
once I've ridden my memory of it. Then I'll forget and I'll be like, oh, Good Burger sounds like fun with the lads.
I don't think I'll ever truly forget this film.
No, that's the thing.
I think that I think it is. Like, it's a shame because obviously we haven't watched this with the full group of boys, and obviously Tall Girl is in our Hall of Fame.
I reckon this would make the Hall of Fame.
That's the thing. I think it would. I don't know if we should give. I don't think we should give it like a day. Like we give it because obviously we have Dunker's Day, which we've never kept to, but we will eventually.
Oh no,
it's coming up. It's about a month from now.
Mm.
But we managed to get the three of us together. We managed to we've managed to treasure and savor this film together. We managed to rip it apart.
Rip it apart.
Rip it apart.
Rip it apart. It's my northern coming in.
Yeah.
Went up hill to damn chippy in good
burger. I don't know.
Ed roller skating past down the road. I thought he was going to run me over.
There's too many. Like, we could go into detail of so many scenes that are like.
I don't think we can. I think the generic sort of generalizations that we've made. I think there's bits of it where it's like, okay, not scenes necessarily, but like certain instances in the plot. I think we can point to and go, this is the thing that happened. We can talk about this, but it's like,
no, it's just,
what is? I mean, in hindsight,
it's not worth it.
I think that this was not a good one to pick for a conversation. This was great for us to watch, but I don't know how the hell this will turn out. I guess because we're fucking stretching here. How about we talk about music? Because I know that's a hot button issue.
I don't remember any of the music from that film.
You don't?
No.
You don't remember the music, guys?
How did it go?
Something about
scorch
a
it from
dude.
your brain.
How did you go? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a dude.
She's
The
a
most
dude.
annoying
Dude.
tune I've ever heard. As we said, it's his voice is like Bill and Ted, right? Or is it? What was it?
Yeah, I said this. I said he's like if you put Bill and Ted into the fly machine, and what came out the other side was a combination of their voices, how they sound, and like the sort of surfer guy lingo, and also like it's both of their stupidity added into one character.
It's like, why is he putting on like a surfer dude voice, but a dumb one?
He sounded.
I think he's just trying to sound
His
dumb,
voice
and it just
sounds
came
a
out
bit
that way.
like a black surfer Steve-O.
Oh my god, yeah, that sounds like like Steve-O if he was from the hood.
Yeah, and also,
although we know that Ed was
surfer.
never in the hood.
No.
Yeah, the surfer thing. Yeah. Well, I'm guessing it's California is where it's set, so it's probably a good assumption that that's why the character or the actor sounds like that, because he's probably from around there as well.
I hope he doesn't sound like that on the normal day.
Oh no, he's putting that on. I mean, it's like when we put on
dude.
bits of ours come through.
She's a dude.
Were you doing your Vin Diesel impression there, Jay?
I am dude.
You're so beautiful.
She's a dude.
So beautiful.
We're all dudes.
This woman, she's so. I'm a fast. She's a fast. We're all fast.
His communication
she's so
skills are
beautiful.
limited. His communication skills are limited.
She's a beautiful woman.
You've seen that interview, haven't you, Joe? I know, Jay, you did because you were quoting it. Joe, have you seen that
Which
interview
one?
of Vin Diesel?
Vin Diesel.
The Vin Diesel interview where he's being interviewed by this Brazilian woman, like Brazilian reporter.
I don't know if I have.
And he's a married man, and he's flirting with her the
Oh.
entire
Well,
time.
of course he is. He's famous.
He's Vin
So,
Diesel.
Yeah.
So when did this turn into "I love you" and stuff like that? He's
Oh, God.
terrible.
No, I
improv.
don't think I have.
He turned
I'm
up like
not-
drunk
again, I
or
don't.
something, I think.
Yeah, I don't
That's
watch
great.
much of Vin Diesel.
Oh, we'll
but-
have to show you after.
I think I heard it on the
Yeah.
radio.
It's like, Oh no, that's
I
bad.
was on the way to school or something, and I just heard that people on the radio were talking about it.
So yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's also this ska in the soundtrack. Are you guys familiar with ska?
It
No.
doesn't ring bells to me, but I know that.
It's a genre of music.
Oh no.
It's basically it's sort of like a cross between like I guess it's like a pop version of reggae basically.
Okay. Yeah.
So the bit when they're flipping burgers and it's sort of like a remix of I'm a dude, all that like that was ska basically. It's a sort of upbeat,
I mean,
and that was a very 90s thing.
No, when
basically.
you bring up music, I'm like, oh, I think I remember like one song that was like, oh, it's kind of alright, but I don't remember what it was, and all I remember is I'm a dude, shit, and I'm like, I hated that one.
Yeah. Well, the only reason I brought it up is because of the "I'm a Dude" song,
Yeah,
basically,
which
because
is- If Ed was lacking in anything, it was not catchphrases and songs.
Yeah, he's very
Welcome to
quotable.
Good Burger.
Welcome to Good
Something-
Burger.
I'll see you in hell.
How can
All
I help
right,
you?
see you there.
I mean, again, I was going to say this. There are, I think we mentioned before, there are bits that are like, it's quite memeable, to be honest.
Yeah.
There were
Well,
bits
Jay,
that-
Jay, you got exposure from this from a gift, didn't you, to begin with?
Yes.
Yeah, one of your friends sent you a gift.
Oh yeah, I can read 3 of those words.
I know some of these words.
Yeah, that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The other thing is that, like, bits of this, it's like, again, it's like, I think we will look back on this a lot more favorably than the immediate memory of this, I think. Because Tall Girl wasn't, there were bits of that film where we were just watching it, it's like, well, nothing's happening.
no
right now,
longer.
No funny bits are happening.
It was just that one guy's accent
the whole time.
It was that one guy's accent.
Well,
Was he Swedish? Or...
Yeah, Swedish, I think.
Yeah.
So when Sven was on screen, that was the highlight of the film, just because of his accent.
Yeah.
Maybe we're racist for that. I don't know.
I mean-
no dunker, she touched my dinkle donk.
Was it actually? It was not the dingle.
Well, there was something he said that there was something like that
Yeah.
he said, but I don't remember it.
Well, obviously the one we obviously constantly quote is when he's talking about how he was the ugly one in Sweden. He was like the nerdy kid, and he's talking about like Dunkus is like, who's the most handsome guy in your school for comparison? And he's like, Ingvar Kruger, and he's like, that's who you are to me. And he's like, I'm Ingvar Kruger, Dunkers.
Oh no.
I guess this has become a joint review of Tall Girl. I
Yeah.
didn't even want that, but we've snuck it in, apparently.
I love Tall Girl. Go swap.
Do you want to spend the remaining minute of this podcast talking about Tall Girl?
Yes.
We can rate both. So real quick, ratings a good burger. Get it done. Get it out.
Yeah. Sorry.
We've got to move on to Tall Girl. Come on.
Okay.
No.
I mean, like, we can spend like an extra 5 minutes or whatever talking about Tall Girl if we really want. We'll do the ratings of Good Burger now, and then we'll.
Let's compare them.
Again,
Let's compare the
yeah,
films.
we've already compared a little
Yeah.
bit, but yeah.
Yeah, and then we can score them over each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then so get thinking about what you'll score Tall Girl.
Okay.
Fuck it, Jay, you've convinced me. Let's.
We've merged.
The Good Burger experiment, it's over, okay? We'll talk about Good Burger for a little bit now, and then we'll cap off. We'll make this a little bit longer, just for the sake of talking about fucking Tall Girl.
Yes.
All right. All right, then. I'll go to you guys first. Jay, as the guest, I feel like it's prudent that you, if you want, you may go first and give your thoughts, your final thoughts and rating of Good Burger. We do out of 10. You don't have to. You don't even have to give a rating. Just how you felt.
I've never done drugs before, but
you
if
have
I
now.
were to, I would probably imagine that this is what it would feel like. Now, based on that and that alone, I would give this film a solid. Oh, but it was really shit.
I mean, how do you rate your drugs? A drug's a drug.
I was gonna say,
I'd give it
Yeah.
4.5 out of 10. I've seen much better films.
Okay.
But it did
Okay.
make me smile.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say if I was doing drugs, I'd put this film on to watch.
I'm sure it'd make it
background,
much
like
more.
the Big Les show. Or
I'm
something.
sure it'd make it much more enjoyable.
Joe, let's go to you.
Hi. You know me, I like to view films a little bit critically. That's,
Like
we do
Simon
that
Cowell.
sometimes. I know you do that as well, Jack, but...
Yeah, I was about to call you out on that, but yeah, fair. You've
No, I
corrected
know.
it. Fair enough.
But my sensible brain just tells me that I cannot rate Good Burger well. I mean, I did, again, there were bits of it that I'm like, okay, they actually put some effort in. There was an attempt. There are some scenes that I enjoyed. Most of it was really god-awful. And I just couldn't stand it, to be honest. I want to forget. But there are also, again, there are things which I'm, yeah, alright, I'll let it off. But I'm still going to rate it. I'll be nice. I'll give it a 3.5.
Wow, fuck, were you going to give it a 2?
I was lingering on the 2 ages ago.
Oh
but
my god.
Then
okay.
I'll
He's
get to why.
The day
I'll
is
read more
taken, he's
in a
mellowed
bit.
with age.
Yeah.
But yeah, 3.5 for Good Burger, I think, from me. Jack?
Fair. Well, do you want to get into why you feel?
Well,
3.5
no, I was just going to
first?
go into, when we get to Tall Girl, this is the thing, I thought about Tall Girl and then I'm like, that might rate lower than Good Burger for me. So
What?
Okay.
That's
Don't worry.
blasphemy. You wash your mouth out.
This is guys. This is spoilers for
I
Tall
know.
Girl segment. We got to get onto that later.
Chat,
okay.
Good
I will say
Burger.
my thoughts. Okay. As we all know, I loved this film.
this is top 5, sure.
No. Yeah. No, it's just like it scores above Jurassic Park and Gladiator. No, it doesn't.
No,
It doesn't.
no.
I promise. No, it's like this is. I have to. With films like this, I have to put it in two different contexts, and I kind of have to give it 2 ratings for that respect. I can maybe average it out in the middle if you guys don't let me do
you
that.
can do
If
whatever
you
you
want to give
want.
me 1 rating, but
Do whatever you want.
I am completely on a critical level in the exact same camp as Jay, 4.5 out of 10. It's like I think a part of me would want to put it up to a 5 because I think it's mediocre, but I don't think it's below mediocre on the scale. In terms of like how incoherent it is, and obviously the miscalculations that are in there, I think that settling with a 4.5 out of 10 for this critically is definitely, I think, a safe bet. On entertainment value alone, I'm giving this a 6.
What?
I'm sorry. I know.
No.
I have to. I feel I have to.
That rating, I'm fine with. It's entertainment value, as you said. Watching it with a group, just for a laugh. 6 is, I'd maybe even rate it higher than a 6, possibly. But 6 is.
We are still talking about Good Burger here, right?
Like I enjoyed it like by myself and that. But yeah, okay. It's like okay, we'll move on to Tall Girl then. Okay. Because I've grilled you enough with it, Jay. I won't make you do the plot right now unless you want to. But I think we want to get through this.
So long, I don't even remember. The plot.
I will summarize the plot then, because I know that I will probably have retained most of the information.
We've already
about
covered
this.
character arcs from it, so you just need to say
Yeah.
what happens.
Well, Tall Girl is a film that came out a few years ago now. That's rough to think about. It came out in 2019, I believe, which was basically just before COVID. Well, we as the 7, which was T5, we won't name names because some of those people don't like their last names being public. No, but we might have them on the podcast, so they'll probably be on first name basis
Until then,
only.
they're dead to us.
But but basically, so I had heard about this film because I'm gonna take credit for it because I was the one who suggested this initially. As with Good Burger. However, in terms of enjoyment, we all shared in that, and we all added to that fucking viewing equal amount. Because I remember when we watched it, I think I was writing an essay at the time,
You are.
or something like that. I was like half paying attention to the film, but I still remember everything that happened. So basically, Tall Girl is about the character Jodie, or Tall Girl, as I think everyone's called her.
Can I just
and there's
iterate
also-
the fact that she is not that tall? She's about 6 foot.
She's just tall for a girl, but about average
They even
height.
put her in stripes and stuff to make her look taller. It's like when in Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings they were trying to mess with perspective to make Bilbo look really small, but they've made her look even bigger. And then there's like that horror shot at the beginning of the film where she's like flirting with this boy in the library, and they're both sitting down across from each other, and he's like, "Oh my god, you're reading the same book I'm reading. Let's have a little quirky scene." He stands up, she stands up, and it's like it's like a shot from like a monster movie where it's like the camera's over her shoulder and she's looking down on him, and he's like shitting himself in his face, and that's how we get introduced to the fact that she's a tall girl, and that is the entirety of the film.
And then she doesn't look tall for like the rest of the film. Really.
But basically, she has 2 friends, Dunkers, which is our favourite character,
Dunkers.
and also, well, Sven is kind of our favourite character, but Dunkers and Sven, they're kind of the core of the movie, really, for what makes us laugh at it.
It's mostly just
and
his
then the
accent.
other film, I think, I don't know what the other character's name is, but she's like the
Sister?
She's like the quirky best friend
there was
who's
a
sort of.
sister. She
There
did
was
have
a
a
sister.
sister in it.
There's the sister as well, but she's a part of the plot. We can get to that in a second.
I know.
But basically, they're all friends. Dunkers fancies Jodie quite clearly. He walks around with a milk crate. Sven, a new exchange student from Sweden, comes to school. Jodie falls in love with Sven. Sven is dating another girl, like a bully girl type character, and her friend some guy is like kind of bullying Jodie, but also kind of like attracted to her a little bit. And it's all this sort of like love triangle shit. Even Dunkers gets himself a girl at one point that isn't Jodie for a little bit. But basically, it's all this stuff working around each other. Jodie's like trying to get like height reduction surgery. She's like, I want everyone to stop talking about how I'm a tall girl. Even though she's the one that's bringing it up most of the time.
We pulled a tall party for you.
The tall party. There's like it. That's when That's when the film starts to compete with Good Burger on the surreal factor.
The parents
Jodie's dad as well
people to a party.
Jodie's dad looks like he wants to die the entire film.
Oh no.
He's so weird. Everyone's so weird in this film. The sister, however, I think is one of the highlights of the film as well. Just like Dunkers and Sven. The sister.
I seem to remember the sister being quite hot.
She's a singer.
Yeah, she was, but she did tons of stuff. Is that her profession in real life, or?
Yeah, no, I think I think it was Sabrina Carpenter or someone, I think, played it, who's a professional singer.
But anyway, her thing is that she's like a pageant queen, like she's a beauty pageant queen, and her payoff. Jodie kind of frames it like they're both like mutants, like they're X-Men or something, because she's like, when I got my tall genes, my sister, she got allergies, and it's like, okay, she sniffs a bit of like a bit of glue or something, or whatever the fuck was in that little thing, and that's all she has to do to stave off her allergies or whatever. It's like, oh, she has allergies. She's lucked out so bad. It's like, she's lucked out so much better than me. It's like, you are like physically superior to almost everyone. Okay? Like, you're like athletic, you're taller, so you have more mass as well, so you're stronger.
Stop flirting with the tall girl.
Well, this is the point though. Is that like it's like this film is trying to frame being tall as a bad
thing. It's a disability, man.
But it doesn't even like come near to the conversation of like, you know, beauty standards for girls or whatever or women. It's like a topic that's in the back of your mind but never gets fucking brought up or resolved. But basically, after a bunch of romantic shenanigans, eventually everyone starts to fucking start breaking up and shit. Sven sort of like, you know, like is kind of mean to Jodie behind her back, and Dunkers punches a black guy and somehow doesn't die.
Oh no, Dunkers.
And eventually Jodie goes to the fucking dance or whatever. The sister has been helping her get ready for the dance the entire movie, and sort of picking an outfit with her, because the sister's fucking crazy as well. She's like throwing knives and shit. It's like, there's so many weird things with the sister. Like, at one point, like, the mean girl tries to hug the sister, and she does like a little... She completely dodges it, is what I mean. It's like a Neo-dodge away from getting hugged by this, the bitch, basically. But the film ends, and Jodie and Dunkers kiss. He's able to reach her height. She's not wanted to date him, by the way, because he's short.
But he really...
So that was a nice double standard from the thing. But he stands on a milk crate, and he's able to stand about her height, and they kiss.
Because
that's all.
Because
that's it. There's nothing else.
I think that was the point of the film, right?
But that's the problem, is it does matter.
Yeah.
The message of the film is that it does matter.
Or else there wouldn't be a film about a tall girl.
Yeah. Well, it's just like...
It's just like, it has conflicting perspectives on it.
Conflicting messages and stuff.
But no,
it's nonsense.
But no, I'm glad you've done your case study on Tall Girl, Jack, because I didn't remember half of what happened, to be honest.
Yeah, I couldn't have reiterated.
I know it was a bit longer on that one, because there's a lot to cover with the characters.
Well... Yeah,
but what do we like about the film?
I can honestly tell you, I would not have made it through the whole of that film if I wasn't in a group full of rowdy, half-drunken lads.
I completely agree.
And I wouldn't find that movie a quarter... I wouldn't find it... I would have no thoughts of it, but like that film is probably up there in my top 5 of all times just because of that night. Yeah. In fact, I don't even care what you're going to say. I'm already rating it 9 out of 10. That is... I'm going to go ahead and say that is a brilliant film, just because of that one time.
Is that on a critical or entertainment sort of level?
I don't give a fuck level.
Yeah,
that's a fucking fantastic film.
Okay, so Tall Girl has fucking skyrocketed over Good Burger for Jay. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, it's just like... I think they're very comparable movies in terms of tone. Like, it is just like, who was this made for? Because at least
It
with the
was
teen
made-
movie, you get the idea that it's made for, like, as in the tall girl movie. It's like it's about teens. It's probably for teens, but will teens seriously get like all of the niche humor and that? That's like it's like Dunkers is like this weird sort of like weeaboo sort of like alternative kid who's like into sort of like niche candy and sort of like he's like a hipster basically, and like Sven is this weird like Edward Cullen character.
I don't feel like we were the
It's-
intended audience, but I feel like we were
No.
the perfect audience.
I think the intended audience was probably girls with like sort
With
of
height issues?
body dysmorphia and stuff like that.
Well,
And
yeah,
height
any
issues,
issue.
yeah, just any form of
It's
like
also-
insecurities.
It's also, so it's a film aimed at presumably younger, teens maybe who are like, oh, I love a good romance story, and it's like, oh, I want the nice guy to get the main character girl, and whatever. I don't know. This is my problem. I'm not really into young romance films.
I am.
Joe, none of us are.
Okay.
This is it. This is the one.
I am because of Tall Girl.
Yeah. The thing is about this is that Tall Girl is literally just. That's it. Like it's just she's tall. I can't even like.
Yeah.
It's like differently with Good Burger. The absurdity came in the characters. This time, it's the absurdity is just the film premise itself.
Yep.
It's like in Good Burger, like you weren't sure what was reality and stuff like this, and like weird stuff that was cartoony would happen. But in Tall Girl, it's like this is supposed to be like quirky and sort of funny and sort of like a romantic comedy.
She's just tall.
But it's but the message of the film and like the tone and the like it's played seriously.
Even if you're the freakish
Like-
height of 6 foot, you can be loved.
What's
If there's a
giant?
short boy in your life, give him a chance, even if he's a creep. It's
Exactly.
like that.
And he carries a milk box
Yeah.
with him.
And he cock blocks Sven several times.
Yeah, so we've had Jay's rating. Jack, what's your rating on this one? Yeah.
It's a troublesome issue in that. Again, I have to give it 2 ratings. I think I gave Good
go
Burger
ahead.
2 ratings. I'll give this one. So, this one, critically speaking, I think scores lower than Good Burger. I think that this is about a 3 for me, because the thing is that with Good Burger, there's intention for that bizarre, surreal humor, and like there's a character at the center of that feels intentional in how weird it's supposed to be. It's like Tall Girl. It's like they were trying. This was not a parody of like these teen movies. This was they were trying.
Mm-hmm.
And there were bits of it where there was intentional comedy, but most of it was just us laughing at the premise and laughing at the characters that aren't trying to be like sort of stupid funny. It's like they just happen to arrive at that destination. It's like when Dunker starts breaking out like racist Kevin Hart impressions. It's like, oh no, and we're like enjoying that sort of disaster that's unfolding in front of us. Where it's like the film, we're like, okay, film, you've made a serious you've had like a serious lapse in judgment here. This is not okay. And there's bits of that in Good Burger, but I think, like, filmmaking wise, it's put together a little bit better, and there's intention there to some of this stuff, and again it has actual character arcs in it, which is a pretty low bar for entry, but it scores above Tall Girl in that respect. In terms of entertainment value, I'm gonna actually score it about the same as Good Burger. I think I can't. Maybe my mind will change on this, but for now, I cannot distinguish between them in terms of entertainment. I had equal fun watching both.
Okay.
Okay.
So is that a 6 then? Because that's what you gave.
Yeah, I'll give it a 6.
I'm
Six
sure
I'll say
Jay-
a 6/7 for both.
I
of
feel
them.
I think
insulted.
Jay's very disappointed.
I
Yeah,
am
very
very
disappointed, insulted, and you'll
I don't
love
give
it
a
even
shit,
more
Jay.
when you get to my opinion.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
So, as we said, Tall Girl. It really, if it wasn't about a tall girl, it would be a really generic, bad rom-com aimed at young. It's like young teen, school kid, love story, whatever. But because it's about a tall girl, it's got that edge to it. But I think Jack you covered everything that I thought about it. Really, I did enjoy watching the rest of you lose your minds basically while watching it. There was we had some memes, we had some laughs about it.
Oh no, Dunkers!
Basically. Yeah, I love.
Please take that into consideration with your score.
I know the Dunkers. I love the Dunkers. But yeah, the accent was amusing. There were things to be made fun of in the film for sure.
Does the accent improve the score?
No, I already.
Jay, stop trying to bribe him. Just let the man speak.
As I always say, my scores are ever changing. So maybe it will impact. Today I'm not feeling too good about Tall Girl Day.
Sake. Let's re-record tomorrow.
on another day. We'll record tomorrow. Maybe it'll be a bit higher. But
yeah, I can edit like 5 podcasts for this.
Just insert a clip of me rating Jurassic Park, and I go 7.5 or whatever I gave Jurassic Park.
I
gave it higher
copy
than
and
that.
paste it in.
Yeah, but Tall Girl on all levels, I have to rate it 2 out of 10.
Oh my!
I enjoy. Here's
God.
the thing: the experience of watching it with you guys. I did enjoy that. Not as much as the rest of you did. I still was like, I wish we were watching something good, but I can laugh at this a bit.
2 out of 10.
But yeah, I forgot basically everything what happened, with the exception of there's that bit where she goes to that party because everyone's tall, and the way you keep mentioning how there's the kid at the milk box and that, and then Dunkers, the whole accent bit. I think there was something about them on the tram, and it's like, it's supposed to be this lovely love bit, but it's like, again, it is just not good. It's just, it's almost so bad it's good, but it's not even. It's not even. It's just bad.
It's like on a level of like, it's like on a level that like only we would find it so bad.
I know it is for the internal meme. I appreciate it. I'm not saying I don't appreciate its existence. I'm just saying it's not good.
Well, no, this is the thing, is that when it comes to ratings, obviously we can act surprised, but this is a respectful environment where I can give Good Burger 10 out of 10. No,
well, that's something I like the fact that you've given an amusement value rating and a critical rating, but I just can't do that because my amusement level is just different every time. As I said, I enjoyed.
And this is. I was going to say, I
but
appreciate and understand that you've abbreviated it into the one score, which I would like. Normally, as we just keep to one type of score. I add in entertainment value and critical stuff. It's just like I don't want to shit on these movies from an entertainment perspective, because for me, I was wrapped up in that. I know you said you were mostly like it's like watching everyone else lose their minds and that. I was part of that, even though I was sort of only half in, and I apparently seem to have remembered most of the film better than anyone, despite the fact I was fucking writing an essay on my lap at the time.
This film will live with some of you for the rest of your lives.
I'm going to go ahead and say that I wouldn't be the man I am today without Tall Girl, because
I know
on Pro Clubs, FIFA 22, on my character, they've introduced women onto Pro Clubs. My character is 6 foot tall, and the name of the character is Tall Girl.
I mean, it goes to show, here's the thing. I don't think that necessarily these films are in competition in a generic way. I think it's just like we're comparing them and seeing which ones score higher with us, particularly in certain things. And as well, it's like both of these films, I think, are ones where it's just like it's just fun. I mean, just to be a prick, technically Good Burger won, but. And that's why we'll never have Jay on the podcast again. Because he won't come back. He will never forgive us.
Since Jay's our special guest, his rating overrules all of ours. So
yes, and Tall Girl wins.
Yay!
Yeah. Well, thank you for all coming to listen to this Tall Girl podcast.
Yeah, you did it, Jay. I didn't think you could do it, but you managed to actually weasel Tall Girl into here. I tried to make this about Good Burger, and you know what? I thought I was out. You pulled me right back in.
Foiled it.
But yeah, I mean, I guess we'll close then. But before we go, is there anything that you want to talk about, Jay? Is there anywhere anyone can find you if you want to be found? Any sort of like, is there anything you want to plug right now?
No.
And we'll see you next time.
Until next time, everyone, I guess.
See you later, folks.
Oh no.